teaching his boys how to play music. I understand, Phil, that Lee used to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Ain't that right, Lee?
That's right.
And didn't you say some days that the snot would be a-flying?
I'd have a switch, a whipping, and a snot a-flying.
Now, I don't know when you played at Carcassonne if you've ever had to take a hickory switch to Sonny back here or not, but no, sir. But they've been playing at Carcassonne for, what, 25 years now?
I guess about 24, 25.
24, 25. Well, tonight you get Marion Sumner, Lee Sexton, Phil Sexton, and Sonny Houston. Hit it, folks.
That Marion Sumner over there, he'll cut you off in a minute. He's quick. He drinks a lot of coffee during the day, Marion does.
A lot of spirit, boy. He's getting fat, Marion is. Fatter than that.
I guess this tune that we're going to do next reaches way back to Lee's. It's Lee's biggest hit, without a doubt. I reckon it sold 30 or 40 copies around Carcassonne. Seriously, it's one of my favorite tunes of Lee Boys. It's called Woe Mule Woe. Incidentally, that's going to be the title of his album that's coming out on June Apple pretty soon.
You ready? I'm ready. Saddled my mule the other day, rode him downtown. All that time struck him afraid the buzzards had him down. Woe mule, woe mule, say, I ain't got time fishing, now my mule's running away. Woe mule, say, I ain't got time fishing, now my mule's running away. Bird died, Ruby called Bluebird died, Holly. Come rubber on back, going to the frolic. Woe mule, say, I ain't got time fishing, now my mule's running away. Woe mule, say, I ain't got time fishing, now my mule's running away. was a little boy, Peter wasn't stout. Peter took the measles and Peter petered out. Whoa, you say, I ain't got time fishing, now my mule's running away. Whoa, you say, I ain't got time fishing, now my mule's running away.
I went down to Marion's this evening before we came up here to do a sound check earlier, and Lee stopped by. He was in dire need of an article of clothing that Marion didn't have to work out. He had to stop by. Where did you stop and get those suspenders, Lee? I was just pointing out to the folks your red suspenders. I really like them.
Oh, spinning wheel, right?
That's right. Least favorite too.
Marion's learnt me to play a fiddle a little bit. We're going to do a twin fiddle tune called Caney.
Okay, well, I would change around a little bit. Lee's getting real fast when he's switching. He used to be, I said, hurry, Dad, hurry. I was ready to go, G chord. Dad, where are you? He's getting quick. Do you think he does a good job switching that fiddle and banjo? Anyway, I'd like to say that it gives me great pleasure tonight. I haven't said this a whole lot around my dad. You know, as you get older, you got your own family to support. You know how that goes. Your own payments. But Dad, it's a thrill to be with you tonight, really. Glad to be here.
Same to you, son.
Anyway, we don't get to pick together like we used to. We used to really play every weekend and through the week a lot of times. Weekends with John and I have another brother, Johnny. He's a little older, just the two of us. And there's a lot of times on the weekends when we're, say I might have been a freshman in high school or maybe in 8th grade, I don't remember. But we'd go to people's houses, you know, back then. Let's say that was probably 20 years ago, I guess. That was probably 22, probably. We'd go to these old timers' homes and play for them. Dad would brag on us. So listen here, you know, a lot of them are dead and gone now, but we just sit around on the weekends, draw us a good drink of water out of the old well, a lot of times built right into the living room there. Just kick back and pick music. A lot of them chew tobacco, spit in a coal bucket or in the fireplace. You know, that was living. But anyway, of those that don't know Lee Sexton, this is Lee Sexton.
I'm going to do one now just on the banjo. It's called the Hog Eyed Man.
As a whip, Lee. That's good. Hog Eyed Man. Marion taught Lee that on the banjo.
Yeah. This woman told me the other day that Marion favored a stork with a pamper on.
In order to be able to sing, would have had legs like a kilty bird.
By the way, while we're into our next song that we have on our list is a little tune that's going to feature Marion.
Woodchopper's Mollies.
That's right. It's going to be called Woodchopper's
Uptown
Ball.
tune.
And this is what you call swing music, the way Marion Sumner plays it.
Sonny.
There's an old fiddle tune me and Marion does a lot on her square dancing. It's called a Rain Curl Breakdown. That's a funny name, ain't it?
That's a bit about a
And
big
tomorrow,
bird
I'd
of
like to
raincoat.
mention anybody down Lexington way. I'm going to be down there on the Woodland Park tomorrow at 1 o'clock. But Marion ain't going with me this time. I won't let him go. No, I will be down there tomorrow. Marion might. I don't know. Rain Curl, Marion.
Tell you, that's really fun to sit to play these tunes like this when people are sitting watching you play, you know, and clapping, even clapping in time. That's better. But if you really knew what it was like to play that tune for about 20 minutes with nobody paying any attention to you whatsoever, you're there for a purpose. To get that music, to keep that beat so those dancers can keep going. Up at Carcassonne, it's real work. It's not playing up there. But it's quite a time. Have you decided to do something?
Let's do Charmin Betsy.
One more.
One more. Well, let's do Charmin Betsy.
You ready, Marion? I'm ready.
She be coming around the mountain, Charmin Betsy. She be coming around the mountain, Cody. And everybody, and that good Lord remember. Well, the rich gas smell like a bottle of poor girl, she do the same. But my gal smell like an old baby, oh, she smell just the same. She be coming around the mountain, Charmin Betsy. She be coming around the mountain, Cody. And if I never see this Lord remember. Well, if he's scared, she drives in a big cab. Poor girl, she does the same. But my gal, she drives in a big bottle. Flies just the same. She be coming around the mountain, Charmin Betsy. She be coming around the mountain, Cody. And if I never and that's the Lord.
Lee Sexton, Marion, Sumner, Phil Sexton, and Sonny Houston. Back for one more on WMNT.
Okay, Phil, put those pants back on now.
Okay.
You know, this is on radio. People are listening to you all over the place.
I never said nothing. You did.
Boy, somebody likes that good corn, don't they?
Hand me down my walking cane. Hand me down my walking cane. Hand me down my walking cane. Go to the morning train. All my seniors take us way down. I got drunk, got put in jail. I got drunk, got put in jail. I got drunk, put in jail. Had no money for my bill. All my seniors take it way down. Hand me down my
All right, that was mighty fine. Lee Sexton, Marion Sumner, Phil Sexton, and Sonny Houston. And you're listening to Seedtime on the Cumberland Live Radio in the mountains again on WMMT 88.7 FM, the non-industrial giant at the headwaters of the beautiful Kentucky River.